Hello again, and welcome to another Mark 41 cosplay video. Today's video, I'm going to do something that I've been boasting about since I made this suit, or since I was thinking about making this suit, is the fact that I can put this suit completely on by myself, unassisted, piece by piece. So we're going to jump right into that from the ground up. We're going to start with the boots and the thighs, because those are the slip-on parts. The shins after that can go on because they break open. Same with the knees. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do, run the thigh on, and then I can slip into the boot and then just let the thigh drop back down. Same with the other side. A little bit closer. Now you can probably see in the video I have some Velcro around the suit. This is for these individual pieces. Some of them need some Velcro to help hold to the undersuit, and that's what that's there for. You probably see the gold pieces down on my shins. That's because I ran out of black, but you can't see it anyway, so the trouble with this, as you can see, the thigh keeps sliding down. The reason that is, the thigh actually buckles to the torso section, so that's really just going to keep moving for the most part until I can get the torso section on. Now, okay, that's one side. Let's break open the other. Now, like I said in one of my other videos for this, I chose to put the break open point on the shins just because it followed this nice line and it's easy enough to hide. If I were to try to do it on this side, there's too much interaction with this piece. There's also these like stabilizer pieces that are glued to that, so it's much more difficult to try and do it on that side. But normally I would try to hide it on the inside, but on the outside it's easy enough to hide. So this one, line up the Velcro all the way around so it's nice and tight. Piece is secured. Now, okay, now I more or less have the bottom portion locked in. Throw the kneecaps on. The kneecaps might actually help hold up the thighs a little bit, just so they don't. You can see they don't have as much room to slide down or butting up against the kneecaps here, so that helps a lot. Okay, now they're in place, and as you can see I have the lower section. Now the shin or the thighs aren't sliding down, so we'll jump into the torso. This is where it gets weird. Take this off of my build mannequin here and just throw this right over shoulders. Now, where this gets tricky at this point, now you can see the whole thing is held together with elastic, so there's a lot of movement and freedom. But at this point, in order to do this by myself, I have to just throw this torso section over my shoulders, and then I have to do the shoulders and the biceps. So we're going to jump into that right next. The reason for this is because once I have the chest buckled, it's much harder to reach my arm over to my opposite side and get to my shoulder. So now, since I don't have a mirror directly in front of me, I'm kind of trying to do this by feel. Hopefully in my hotel room I'll have a, for New York Comic Con that is, I'm sorry, I'll have a mirror in front of me, so I'll be able to see much better. I won't have to try and do this by feel alone. You can see this is where it gets a little bit funky, but it's going well, obviously. Well, maybe obviously. Okay, that seems to be okay. Now we'll slide the arms in. The shoulders Velcro to the undersuit. There's Velcro, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's Velcro around the shoulders to help hold those pieces on. And there's also a small bit for the biceps. And that's really the only thing that holds the biceps on, is one piece of Velcro. In times before, I've had to use parachute buckles and things, but I try not to use that too much on the shoulders and arms, because like I said, they're difficult to get to once you have the chest on. You can see now I almost can't reach the other sides, but now that I have that done, what I'll do next is really quick throw the neck piece on. Now get this inside, and then I can Velcro that closed. Make sure that's all right. Now I can start to buckle the torso. Now again, I have to do this by feel because I don't have a mirror in front of me. So bear with me here. I think I found it. Yeah, just like I said, bear with me here. I'm trying to find the clip. That'd be lined up just right. They don't slide together. There it is. That's one. The rib cages get tied to the hips. These are parachute clips that are tying this all together. And these parachute clips are strapped with elastic. And I tried to do everything with elastic, just so it gives more movement. Basically, there's the other one. Basically, the more stretch you have in between all the parts, the less likely you are to tear those parts or crumble those parts. So I tried to use elastic everywhere. Now what I'm buckling now is throughout the whole above the hip section, I have belt loops on the inside, and then I have a piece of elastic as a belt, and that has two parachute clips that clip right onto the front. Now I have to get the cod piece through. There we go. It's not too much of a chore. But again, this is another instance where a mirror would be great to get these pieces of Velcro lined up. So I apologize if things aren't completely covered, but it seems to be going really well so far. Okay, now that's a huge majority of the suit. What I'll do next, almost forgot. I have to buckle the thighs into the sides of the hips. Again, parachute buckles and elastic. So these aren't as hard to find directly below these round hip pods, and there it is. Now the legs are all on, the torso's on, the upper arms are on. So I'll start by putting the forearms on next. they just slip on and they're held in place with some Velcro. I'm sorry if I keep getting off frame there, but I have everything set off to the side so it's easier to grab, much like it would be in my hotel room or anywhere where I'm getting ready to put this on. Now you can see that this forearm has the glove attached to it. There's a wire breakaway inside. This is actually the controls. The wires holding this on here is actually the controls for the helmet. I have a radio transmitter inside the forearm that's connected to this button, and that's what controls that, or activates the helmet. So just slip these gloves on. Now probably see the fingers dangling around. They're not glued to the glove just because it makes it much easier for me to actually get my fingers into the gloves if I can put them through the fabric first and then put the plastic fingers over them. So that'll be the last thing I do, just so I can keep putting the rest of this suit on. Now what I'll do next before I put the last glove on, throw the old helmet on. Now I can put the last glove on, or the second glove, rather. Slips right on. And you can see this would be a nightmare if I was trying to do this with these plastic fingers on these gloves. Now you could probably see the hands flickering. What I have going on there is there's mercury switches inside the lights of the gloves so that whenever I raise my hands, the lights come on. When I lower them, they turn off. So now every time my hands are moving up and down, they flicker. So, okay. Now what we're gonna do is we gotta, on the inside of the chest here, obviously you can see that the arc is missing. On the inside of the chest here, I have 2 battery packs. It doesn't require both of them, but it just needs one. I put 2 in there just so if one runs out, I have a backup ready to go. And this is the other big deal with this suit, is the fact that this chest part comes off and I can easily access the batteries to the arc reactor and make sure the lights are always on. That's a huge plus. Previous suits had to take almost the whole thing off in order to do this. So now what we're going to do is just line up the magnets and snap that right into place. And that feels good. Okay. Now we just slide all of these fingers, these are 3D printed, and they're elastic strapped together just so that they stay in place, all as one piece. And the right hand, same thing, snap those all right into place. And voila, I'm completely dressed, ready to go, all by myself. Let's hit it up. Thanks for watching. Later.